Welcome back to Stadium Unplugged with former Sunderland midfielder Michael Bridges. Let's talk about family life in Australia. Your kids are settling in well. Your wife, she's a dancer. Does she do any dancing in Australia?
She doesn't now, but about 4 years ago, before we got there, Kate was doing the European tour with the Michael Flatley Lord of the Dance, and it was interesting. About when we first met 10 years ago, I found out that she was a dancer in Vegas, and obviously the eyes lit up, and I thought exotic dancer straight away. And 2 months later, I was all my dreams were shattered when I found out she was an Irish dancer.
She was actually a proper dancer.
Proper
and
dancer.
Became more boring then.
Yes, and I didn't realise how famous she actually was until I went to Vegas for our honeymoon 2 years later, and she had a good little fan club over there.
Wow, well
But
done.
going back to us, so in Australia she doesn't do the dancing, but my little girl and boy, they're getting into the dancing. She's
your boy too?
Yeah, he does hip hop.
Oh, wow.
Which is a new one for Dad. He keeps coming home with all these crazy moves and saying, "Dad, can you try this?" And I'm like, "Son,
oh my
I'm
gosh.
out." Daddy's 35. He doesn't want to do headstands. My little girl's doing tap dancing and ballet, so it's really good. And the lifestyle over there is great. But on the flip side of that, the culture and the Aussie twang,
yes,
and the
oh my
slang
God, let's talk about that.
is very different. So my boy comes
Thongs.
home. Thongs.
And not the underwear, just...
Not the underwear. I made this mistake in the dressing room at Sydney A.F.C. One of the guys said, "Would you like to borrow my thongs?" And I looked bewildered, you know, and I'm thinking, what have I come to here? And then he threw us a pair of flip-flops, and I went, "Ah, good, phew."
Oh my gosh.
But then you've got the other term is, my little boy came home one day and he said, "Dad, are we doing soccer training?" And I was like, "Wash your mouth out. You don't use that word. It's football over here." And it started to spread to me, and I've got my best mate Gary's in England, and every week we talk about football on the telephone, about the Premier League, what's happened, and the A-League. And this night he rang up and I said, "Gary, oh, the soccer was amazing," and all I heard was beep. The telephone was dead, so I thought we'd lost communication. I rang him back. He said, "Don't ever call that word again on the telephone to me, otherwise you'll get the same ringtone."
It's terrible, isn't it? I mean, it is a lot different. Barbie and thongs and soccer and everything else, and then of course the poisonous snakes and a whole lot of other things.
We're getting used to everything. I mean, I've been there 4 years now. I only saw one snake on the golf course in 4 years, and the day I came over here, my wife rings up all hysterical and goes crazy. We had the cat decided that he'd bring a snake into the house.
Wow.
So there was a poisonous snake in the house next to the kids, and that was the first scare that we really had.
Okay. Let's talk about fatherhood. You know, you've got twins, a boy and a girl. That keeps your time, I'm sure, really stacked up at any given day. And then, of course, you bring them up in Australia, trying to also instill some English in there.
Correct.
How hard is that? Listen,
it was the best moment of my life, seeing having twins, a boy and a girl born. My wife went through 36 hours of labour. Wow. It was easy for the men. I feel for the ladies, you know. I've witnessed...
You said you were falling asleep.
I was falling asleep when I'm telling her, hurry up, we need to get home."
Oh my gosh.
It didn't go down very well. And bringing the kids up over there, the culture difference is phenomenal. The outdoor lifestyle, the barbecues, the beach, it's just phenomenal. And I don't want to take that away from the children. We get citizenship this year in September, which is going to be great, because then the children can make their own decision after that. When they're older, if they want to stay in Australia, they can. If they want to go back to England and do what they can. And the only thing that hurts them is obviously grandparents.
I see.
They miss their grandparents.
Do they come over to visit a lot?
They do,
though,
yeah, a lot.
Your son is into dancing. Is he showing signs of being in football? I mean, even your daughter
I've got no rhythm whatsoever. And my son has got so much rhythm, as my daughter has, so obviously that's Mum's side.
Okay.
And he's shown some really good potential. He enjoys it, he loves it, and some of the moves he does is mind-blowing.
So no football then?
We
Maybe.
We do the football every Saturday in the weekends. He plays for a team called the Cooks Hill Cougars. Dad's the coach.
Okay.
And my little boy hasn't quite got Daddy's talent, but my little girl has.
Oh wow.
So I think my little girl Sadie I'm going to push her in the football.
Wow, well done. And Australia, you know, they've got a pretty strong
They've got a good Matildas team, very good. And over there, the girls play with the boys, they mix in at a young age until 14, which I think is fantastic.
That's why they call it soccer.
Well, that's what they call it, soccer. But it's funny because some of the boys are bigger and stronger even at that age, and she doesn't hold back. She's my Tony Adams in defence.
Wow, well done, well done. What's the biggest surprise so far being a father?
Oh, I've got to say 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the mornings when the kids come in and throw toys on your head and say, "Come on, get up."
You're not allowed to actually stay in bed anymore.
You can't stay in bed, no, early mornings. It was life-changing, but for the it was great. You know, every day I wake up, every day I tell them I love them because they're special to me. You know, they're me twins, and that. But two's enough. A boy and a girl, no more.
Well, your wife's done great then.
Yeah.
If you had to relive your life, is there anything about it that you would have changed?
I've been asked this so many times, and I always say no.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer. Fate, things happen for a reason. If I had finished football, it's all I know. I would have gone into coaching somewhere at an earlier age. But I've had 18 great years in the game. Got a fantastic family and had a great lifestyle, and I will never hold back and say if injuries hadn't done, you would have played for England, you would have played in World Cups. It didn't happen.
Is there anything you would have done different?
I wouldn't have played in the game against Besiktas, and I wouldn't have had the ankle. Okay. That's the only thing I would change, yeah. Just avoiding that game.
I wanted to ask you, teach me a little bit of Australian slang to say, you know, all the best.
Oh, right. Put another shrimp on the barbie, mate. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.